tonight on the MTN News at 5. Governor Bullock addresses the state after Montana sees more than 700 new cases, the largest one-day jump since the start of the pandemic. Plus, from the farm to the classroom, how students at Montana schools are getting fresh fruits and vegetables from local producers.
From Montana's news leader, this is MTN News at 5.
Good afternoon and welcome to the News at 5. I'm Jessica Nelson. Thank you for joining us. The state of Montana has seen the largest jump in a single day of new coronavirus cases, surpassing the last record by over 200. Today alone, there are 733 new COVID-19 cases. There are now more than 5,200 active cases in the state. There have been 203 COVID-19 related deaths. The 3 deaths today occurred in Bighorn County. Another number to keep in mind, almost 11,000 people have fully recovered from the virus. Earlier today, Governor Bullock held a press conference with state health leaders to address unemployment insurance funds and the rise in COVID cases. The state will be directing $200 million in CARES Act dollars to the Unemployment Insurance Trust Fund. Bullock says the move is to prevent Montana businesses from experiencing an 85% spike in their tax rate. Bullock also announced publicly displaying COVID hospital capacity across the state will begin tomorrow. The report will show bed capacity, number of ventilators, and ICU capacity. Yellowstone and Flathead counties reported the lion's share of new cases in the past month. Bullock again affirmed his position on leaving stricter COVID mandates in the hands of local governments, saying it didn't make sense for the governor to implement restrictions for only a couple counties at a time.
It's our actions as Montanans that have brought our total case count to over 16,000 and to nearly 200 deaths. It's our actions as Montanans that have stressed our hospital resources. And it's our actions as Montanans that can flatten the curve.
At the press event, Bullock also urged Congress and the president to find common ground and pass another COVID stimulus package to help financially impacted Americans. One of the ways that we are tracking the increase in cases is through the overall positivity rate in COVID-19 tests. That is the percentage of positive cases in each new batch of tests, and that percentage of positive results has been rising from about 3.1% on September 7th to around 4.1% today, an increase of about 1%. According to the Johns Hopkins School of Public Health, the percentage of positive cases is important because it can indicate how widespread the virus is in an area and whether levels of testing are keeping up with the spread of the disease. Time now for a check of our beautiful forecast. That's all. You should just say beautiful. Walk away.
Fall beautiful. Drop the mic. Drop the clicker here. But yeah, great color out there. And how about today's beautiful weather here? Lighter wind, comfortable temperatures, and of course that the sky color that's blue, and of course, the aspens and the cottonwoods just absolutely gorgeous here this year. But enjoy the colors while we have them, because not only will the wind pick up and maybe blow off some of the leaves here over the next few days, we've got issues with extreme fire danger once again here for Thursday as the wind ramps up, the humidity drops, and the temperatures will be going up as well. Wind on, wind off, Daniel-son. Watch Karate Kid there on Netflix if you don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, it's been coming and going here, and that will continue over the next few days. Holy smokes, yeah, the smoke is coming back from wildfires in California, and the temperatures will be falling to more typical levels. More in the full forecast coming up.
Thanks, Curtis. As Montana continues to see record coronavirus cases, a 2-week shutdown on the Blackfeet Reservation is trying to slow the spread of COVID-19. Just over a week into the shutdown, tribal leaders are reporting more than 300 active cases on the reservation. But those numbers are still about 2 weeks behind. Around 7,000 people live on or near the reservation. During the shutdown, masks are mandatory and non-essential outings are being discouraged. Most people are complying with the shutdown orders, but if you don't, you could receive a fine. Tribal leaders say those fines are being handled on a case-by-case basis.
So I think for the majority, people are listening right now. We just want to remind people to keep, follow the social distancing rules, wear your masks are mandatory, stay safe. We're still in this, we're all in this together, and to try to curb this, we just need everybody to follow the rules.
There have been 3 coronavirus-related deaths on the Blackfeet Reservation. The Montana Department of Commerce has launched a new grant program to help businesses expand more jobs in the state. Workforce Recovery Grant Program is designed to help refill jobs that were lost due to the economic impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic. The program will reimburse a business for the wages of full-time permanent jobs that are created and retained for at least 6 months. Montana's unemployment rate was last reported at 5.6%, 2 points higher than before the pandemic began.
Our businesses are so important to our communities around the state for the services they provide. And one important thing that they provide is job opportunities within their communities. So as businesses move toward being able to rehire and rebuild their workforce, this program is a grant incentive to help them do so.
Applications will be accepted on a first-come, first-served basis until all funds have been committed or by December 31st. More information can be found on our website. That's ktvh.com. In the Great Falls City Commission meeting on Tuesday, the plan to repair the Civic Center using tax increment funds cleared its final hurdle. The commission unanimously approved an amendment to the Downtown Urban Renewal Plan that would allow the city to access TIF funds to finance the $5.5 million repair project. The front panels of the Civic Center have seen substantial cracking and buckling over the years, with small pieces falling off. Barricades have been in place for public safety since June. The Great Falls City Commission received 10 proposals for the design and construction of the new Aquatics and Recreation Center on the east side of town. The city got a $10 million grant from the Department of Defense and will match that with $10 million from the Park Maintenance District assessments that voters approved back in 2018 for park improvements. A selection committee reviewed and ranked the 10 proposals and will conduct interviews with the top 3 applicants over the next few days. A farm-to-school program funded through the Office of Public Instruction brings locally farmed fruit and vegetables to schools across Montana. MTN's Sean Wells talks to an apple farmer who makes weekly deliveries to Kalispell schools throughout the fall.
Fruit that I delivered today, these apples, were just picked yesterday.
Apples about as fresh as you can get. That's what Kalispell School District students get to enjoy during the fall months thanks to the Farm to Table program that brings locally farmed foods to public schools. Brian Campbell, the owner of Campbell Orchards on Finley Point, has been supplying fresh apples and pears to Kalispell schools for the past 6 years. Campbell says most apples you see in grocery stores today were harvested last year, put into cold storage, and treated with a preservative chemical. He says his apples are simply picked right off the tree.
So the idea is actually for the kids, I think, to experience some locally grown things that aren't totally processed.
Kalispell Schools Food Service Director Jana Graham says apples are provided during school lunch and also made into fun treats like applesauce and apple muffins. Graham says fresh fruit is popular among students, with 2 suppliers bringing anywhere from 600 to 1,000 pounds of fresh apples on a weekly basis.
And the apples are always so good and crisp and sweet and tart. So yeah, we love working with those apple growers.
Along with fresh fruit, Graham says Kalispell schools work with farmers in the spring and summer months, bringing in fresh vegetables.
We try to have as many relationships with local farmers as we can.
Campbell says he will make apple deliveries to the Kalispell School District for the next 8 weeks. In Kalispell, Sean Wells, MTN News.
All right, when we come back, Chief Meteorologist Curtis Grevenitz will have more on that beautiful fall forecast that we're seeing. And later, the stage is set for the one and only vice presidential debate. We will have a preview up next.
Weather starts now with Chief Meteorologist Curtis Grevenitz.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. What a beautiful day here. Beautiful color. Once again, enjoy the leaves because time is not on our side, but also wind will be picking up, maybe knocking some of the leaves off once again. 80 degrees, second day in a row. We've hit that magic number here in Helena, well above average. And that would tie a record from all the way back in 1889. Both of the records were set back in the 19th century. Great Falls, great day, 75 degrees, light east wind of about 10 miles per hour. It was a little cooler the farther east you went in the state today, but really not much cooler. We're in the 60s and the 70s there. And the wind, yeah, it's out there. We had a bit of an east wind from Glasgow and Jordan around Lewistown, but the wind certainly not as bad as it was yesterday. But that wind, remember, wind on, wind off, that's going to come up once again here tonight through the overnight hours and then heading into tomorrow. Look at the wind expand here, intensify across the state through late tomorrow evening as well here. So that means the fire danger will continue all the way into late tomorrow evening. Friday, the wind will ease up here somewhat. The wind goes off, and then the wind picks up here on Saturday. So not a lot of growth today, or even activity on the Logo fire here. The Yogo fire, I should say. There it is, the latest information, still right around 3,000 acres, 0% containment. Yesterday was really, really difficult for the firefighters to fight with the wind, with the low humidity here. Tomorrow will be very similar. So expect maybe some activity here after the firefighters valiantly fought that fire yesterday, kind of keeping the growth in those really, really tough conditions to only 50 to 100 acres. Some severe storms going through the northeast, and the Gulf is quiet, but major Hurricane Delta likely to hit Louisiana coming up here on Friday and then moving up into the eastern part of the country. The smoke, we didn't have any out there today. Remember, the sky was really, really nice. It still is nice out there, but as the sun goes down, if you look off towards the west and the southwest, smoke is on the increase. Flow coming out of the southwest, and what's to our southwest? Big time wildfires in California. California will get some rain though, as will places like Oregon and Washington. Oregon over the last few weeks gone from 17 major fires down to only 4, and that's because of some of the cool weather that's come in. Watch the fire danger tomorrow into Friday. Lighter wind, another nice sunny day here, and then look at Saturday. Washington, Oregon, Northern California getting some rain. Saturday will start out sunny here for most of the state, but later in the evening, once the sun goes down, we'll likely have a few showers and maybe even a rumble of thunder coming over the Continental Divide. And then by Sunday morning, it's a mix of rain and snow showers. Some snowflakes flying in the higher terrain. Snow may mix all the way down to about 5,000 feet at times. It's a windy Sunday. Maybe a little system coming in with some additional moisture here for Monday. Not a ton of rain or snow, but the moisture will help. Here are the temperatures for tonight, down into the 40s for most locations. And again, some smoke starting to increase here in the southwestern part of the state, up over the sky in Helena. And here's the forecast for tomorrow. Windy and warm with extreme fire danger here. Please be careful. Look at these temperatures. We might get to close to another few record highs here. Eastern Montana, central Montana, up near 80 degrees. As will the Helena area once again. Here's the 7-day forecast. Smoky skies tomorrow with that wildfire smoke coming up from California. Friday, maybe a little cleaner skies. Saturday starts out warm and dry and windy, but it doesn't end that way. Much cooler weather for Sunday and Monday. We've got bouts of wind, though, that will be coming and going. So again, enjoy the fall colors while we have them. Windy, high fire danger tomorrow for Great Falls. Windy and warm on Saturday. Showers move in late, and then cooler, more typical fall weather for Sunday and Monday.
In just a few short hours, the candidates for vice president will face off in a debate. The two will battle back and forth on 9 different topics. Here is the latest report.
This is Kingsbury Hall on the campus of the University of Utah, where tonight, in just a few hours, Senator Kamala Harris and Vice President Mike Pence are set to meet in the first and only vice presidential debate of this campaign cycle. Yeah, ever since that COVID-19 outbreak at the White House, safety has been on the minds of everyone involved with this debate here. And last night, a plexiglass barrier was installed on that stage. It'll separate Vice President Pence and Senator Kamala Harris to prevent the spread of any COVID-19 germs up on that stage. There had been some talk that the Vice President didn't want that plexiglass barrier up there. So I spoke to both sides, the Trump campaign and the Democratic National Committee, to get their thoughts on having that divider on the stage.
The two candidates are going to be separated by more than 12 feet, which is twice the distance as recommended by the CDC. So, look, if they want to have plexiglass there as well, that's fine, I suppose. I'm not sure that any experts would tell you that it will do any good or actually has any impact.
I was in Cleveland last week and I was sitting in the front row, and the entire Trump team came in without a mask. You remember the head of the CDC, the Trump administration CDC said a few weeks ago, if we would all simply wear a mask, we could save 100,000 lives.
And we expect COVID-19 to be a major topic of discussion at this debate. We also expect this to be a bit more civil than that first presidential debate that we saw last Tuesday. In Salt Lake City, John Franke.
This weekend, our series of MTN debates concludes with the race for U.S. Senate. Incumbent Republican Steve Daines meets current Montana Governor Steve Bullock to decide who should represent our state in the U.S. Senate. The national spotlight's been shining on this race, and you'll have your chance to hear from the candidates themselves Saturday night at 6 o'clock on KTVH or with the KTVH streaming app for Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, or Android TV. Coming up next on the news at 5, the Great Falls Chamber recognizes a woman who helps make a difference for young people in the community.
Montana's news leader. You're watching MTN News at 5.
Welcome back with us. The Great Falls Chamber of Commerce is recognizing businesses and community members for excellence through their yearly awards. MTN's Shannon Newth joins us with more on one award focused on making Great Falls a better place for kids.
This is the second year the Great Falls Chamber has given out the Youth Empowerment Award. This year's winner specifically appreciates the title of the award.
I love the word empowerment. That's a huge part of my passion in life, is empowering people to become who they are, what they want to be, how they want to achieve it, whether that's on an individual, a familial, or a community level.
Jamie Marshall has been working for years to better the lives of children and families in Great Falls. She chairs No More Violence Week, works with the Dandelion Foundation, and is on the Prevent Child Abuse and Neglect Task Force. She also serves as the chair for the Kids Education Yes campaign that advocated for the operational levy, which passed in May. Her work with that campaign is one of the reasons she was chosen for the award.
She's just been an incredible leader. She's very humble in what she does, very strategic, but at the same point, well thought out in what we needed to do.
In a community that has felt the effects of child abuse and neglect, Marcia wants to dedicate her time and energy to education and advocacy.
I really do believe that the future of a community is housed so very much in the children and families that reside there. And every little bit that each of us give makes a difference, a very powerful difference.
Marshall again is the second recipient of the award. Last year, Paris Gibson Education Center Principal Drew Euchre was recognized. In Great Falls, Shannon Newth, MTN News.
All right, up next, fossils of a T-Rex dinosaur were auctioned off for a record-setting price. That full story when we return.
When we welcome our West Coast viewers, the new COVID epicenter, thousands of cases a day, hospitals nearing capacity, and the alarming trend in 32 states. Also, America's top counterintelligence official on exactly how foreign powers hope to turn our elections. When we see you back here for Nightly News.
From Montana's news leader, you're watching MTN News at 5.
One of the most complete T-Rex skeletons easily beat all auction expectations at nearly $32 million. The sale set a new record for any dinosaur skeleton or fossil ever sold at an auction. The auction house expected the 13-foot-tall, 40-foot-long fossil to fetch between $6 and $8 million. The skeleton was nicknamed Stan after the first name of the amateur paleontologist who found the bones in Montana and Wyoming in 1987. Well, if you missed any of tonight's newscast, you can rewatch any of the stories on your favorite streaming device and watch live streaming news and features all day long. Be sure to download the KTVH app today on your streaming device. Thank you so much for joining us. That's all for us tonight. Have a great rest of your Wednesday.